Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Hope you had a good time yesterday. And now we are going to have something related to strategy. So, when I started with the resilience and supply chain sustainability, we need some strategy to bring in resilience, right? In order to create some strength within us as a business, we have to have understanding of the strategies. What strategy will help the businesses and how we have to react to the situation. These two are important things. So, let us see. I am skipping the initial slide. We have already seen what we are going to do and why we are having these strategies. That is the main thing in order to achieve sustainability. Sustainability is not a simple term, it is broader term. Everybody using sustainability in a different way, I have seen it. Now, we are going into the sustainable development goals before we go for the strategy. So, if you have been working as a logistical manager, you might be knowing within the last 2 years how much change has happened in logistics. If you are a student, probably you may not understand this, but if you are a manager, if you have experienced the logistical changes in the last 2 years, you could see SDG is making a bigger impact in the logistical companies or any business. Sustainable development goal, it is also known as the global goals. These are all adapted in all the countries, especially it was initially adopted by United Nations in 2015 as a universal call to action to end poverty. We are taking only few of this. End poverty we are not considering in this session, but end poverty is one of the goals. Protect the planet by doing things rightly without much emission and ensure that by 2030 all people enjoy peace and prosperity. It is a big ambition ahead of us, and as a global nation, everyone means every citizen is having the responsibility to contribute. Even 1 milligram of carbon if you are reducing in your car driving, it is going to contribute say millions of 1 gram. So, everyone is contributing. If you are using wisely, if I am avoiding the plastic, plastic can be used, but the plastic if it is a recyclable plastic. If I am avoiding some plastic bag, especially if we are taking the food from canteen, they are packing in a bag, it is a use and throw bag. So, that is the harmful thing for our environment. So, if a plastic of thick plastic, if it is recyclable, you can use it, otherwise try to avoid it. You say no, I do not want it. Especially in the shops, if they are giving very thin plastic, avoid it. If 10 students say no, I do not want, the shopkeeper will remove it from the shelf. So, this is our small step towards the sustainability. So, there are many goals. What are we looking at? Currently, if you look at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, very difficult, but what is very easy for us is responsible consumption number 12. Responsible consumption and production. If you are a manager, a production manager, if you are a logistical manager, and if you are talking about supply chain, managing the supply chain, then you can go for 12. The number 12 is easy to follow, and climate action is related to this. We are not talking about other aspects now. This is the other one, sustainable cities. Sustainable city is including smart cities. We are having smart cities in many European countries. Even we got smart roads in UK where I live. The smart roads, smart cities are making sustainability. However, if you do not have smart city, you have to make it a smart city by contributing to the reduction of emission and using wisely certain materials. Okay. Then next is when you are looking at these things, it is country specific. We cannot say whatever is applicable to UK and Europe will be applicable to this country, it is very country specific. But naturally India has got most land which is fertile land, and that fertile land can hold so many different materials like coconut scrape, other biodegradable. Only thing what it can't accept is plastic. So, that means we have to go to the closer vicinity of nature. Paper based, nowadays people are using newspaper for folding things, but when I was a child before 40 years, 45 years, we used to have only newspapers. for keeping the items. It is not new, and leaf plate is coming as new, but leaf plate was the one which was used a long before. I am 50 plus, so I am talking about many years back. So, that means whatever we are using now with plastic is not modern, it is making our life hell. So, plastic is a, it is not unnecessary evil, it is evil, but it is necessary nowadays for a certain extent. We have to recycle it and we have to make sure that it is remanufactured. So, plastic can be kept as a positive usage of material. Now, let us come to the point. Now, plastic is not the only material which is causing the environment very sick, CO2, greenhouse gas, all these things are affecting the environment. So, we are sickening the environment by polluting. So, pollution can happen in many ways because of industrial emissions. If you go to see now COP 29, where was it? Baku. It was in Baku, Azerbaijan last couple of weeks before. Anything finally committed? Any reduction? Are you watching television? Is there any news of how much CO2 will be reduced at what time? No, not concrete settlement has come from COP 29. Everybody was talking about how to reduce, how much money will be kept aside for the COP 29, sorry, for reduction of CO2, but no other agreement has come in place. That means, as a normal citizen, we cannot do anything with COP 28 or COP 29. What we can do is, we can make 3 pillars workable: environmental, social, governance, goals, targets and objectives, mainly 3 pillars. What are the 3 pillars? Can you guess? It is there. One is environmental, social, third one? No. Environmental, for 3 pillars: environmental, social and 3 pillars of sustainability. So, sustainability, under sustainability we have economic, social and environmental. Economic, social, environmental, how they are connected with each other. One is, when you are talking about the circular economy is incorporating social labours. Let me give the example: social labours to be involved in the activities which are creating economic growth for the local community and which in turn will be supporting the environment. That means, we are saying a very simple example from different projects. I could say, if you are collecting the plastic, plastic is a waste, plastic you do not want it. But who is collecting? Rock pickers are collecting, they are getting the job. So, socially they are involved. Even the working women in certain villages in South India, they are collecting. They do not mind going for the work, it is not the prestige for them. They are just going after the household work, they are going and picking the plastic because it is extra money for them. After picking, socially what they are doing? They are cleaning the surface. After picking, they are giving to the Radiwala. Then he is collecting everything together. For 10 kgs he is paying some money. That money goes into the pocket of ladies. So, economically they are becoming progressing. They are progressing and they are becoming rich, not rich necessarily, but more than what they used to have. Then environmentally they are helping. So, socially they are engaged, economically they are well off now, and environmentally they are helping. These are called 3 pillars of sustainability. If you are engaged in any project, any report, please use 3 pillars of sustainability. So, one is combined with other, it is a cycle. You can start with economic, or you can start with social, or you can start with environmental purposes. Goal can be anything, but you will be achieving all 3. Okay. And then when we are having these things, these are the examples. The right hand side, GCR of NTU project, it is my project. We have used pyramid structure. It was very nice, a pyramid structure. You can watch the video later. A fish tank was kept here, and here plants, all plants, fish tank, and then water was coming to this plant, and dripping water has come to fish, and then fish tank will be emitting that water will have some different minerals, because fish is emitting excretion of fish will go, that water will be going back, and this side solar panel, both these sides. It was very nice pyramid structure. We used to have solar panel for energy, and then we have got the plants growing. It is given here, but not the pyramid structure. In the video you can see how the pyramid structure works. This is very simple, anybody can do it, you do not need any investment. So, if you are doing in every household small structure, just imagine will be self sufficient in terms of vegetables, you can grow for your family and you can sell it for other purposes. That means, as a youngster you cannot say I do not have investment. Investment is there, you can spend 1000 rupees, it is not a big amount for you. Within 1000 rupees, if you imagine that prototyping is available readily from everywhere, apart from solar panel, I am not talking about solar panel, look at the video, you will see how it is fixed. Other than the solar panel, you can do anything, and this will be creating some business for you as a small scale business. If you look at big shots in the supply chain, especially fruits and vegetable supply chain, most of them are having the small investment. So, other one, this example sustainability, it is the ability to maintain or support a process continuously over time. This is about the windmill, again it is very interesting. I have given the source, go to that source and look for the examples how they are using the windmill efficiently. But nowadays windmill is having some problem. You might be knowing windmill production has got the longer logistical expectations. When you are having longer logistical expectation, meaning is one windmill fan will go in one full truck, other one will go in the other truck, they have to travel a long distance. And whether we are achieving LCA, when we are doing the LCA calculation, you will see whether we are doing any LCA justifiably for environment. There is a lot of question, we will discuss it later, but this is again sustainability. You can take the sustainability in any way according to your understanding. So, go and see whether it is really helping you. The textile is eco-friendly in many of the cases if you are using cotton. So, purposely I wore cotton today. If you are having cotton, you have to justify as a business your textile, your fabric, everything is eco-friendly. Energy used in the cotton production is not more than what is give me some minutes, let them sit. So, carbon, when you are using the carbon, energy use means you are using carbon as well, you are using carbon dioxide, how much you are emitting through your final production, how much you are taking and how much you are emitting, both are calculated in LCA. We will see the LCA calculation separately. Transportation and many things are involved in eco-friendly production. So, when you are talking about these things, what comes to our mind? There are many different hundreds of things to discuss, but what should I start with? Where will be the focus of mine? If I are talking about the logistical services, transportation, United Nations said very clearly these are the frameworks, these are the conditions. You can compare with your business. So, the provision of service and infrastructure for the mobility of people and goods, advancing economic and social development to benefit today's and future generations. That means, here you have to see clearly, if you are looking at the benefits for today, you are missing the future. The same mistake every country has done for plastic use. Now, we are talking about plastic waste. When it started, why we have not thought about it? That means, if you are talking about battery operated car now, you should be visualizing the benefits and negative side of battery car later. So, battery operated car, how they are finally putting that battery into end. What is end of life for battery? Still we do not have that answer, it is not completely solved. Still we are saying cars are having, battery cars are eco-friendly, but we do not say how the battery is going to be recycled completely. Why we do not know? Because battery car life is 10 years, still we have not gone to that stage. and they can use it for another 5 years, they can extend it life. The extended life for battery is another 5 years, 10 plus 5. So, that means we have to wait until 15 years to see how the batteries are going to be recycled. That is the problem now. We have to see, same like plastic, benefit today's and future generations. If we are doing something, it should not affect the future generation. Your parents, like me, I have used plastic, it is my mistake, your generation is suffering. So, the blame is with us, not with you. Now, you have to find the solution. Do not forget that when you are finding the solution, remember you have to think of the future generation as well. We have upcycle, we have system upcycling, recycling, remanufacturing. We have so many options. Upcycling, when you feel that some product is going to be wasted, think of how to create some extra value to it. Can I upcycle it? Upcycle meaning is the value of the new product should be more than the current product. That is the condition 1. Recycling, it is not like that. Recycling means use it and then recycle to different product or recycle to the same product, something which is not currently usable. Not necessarily the value will be higher. Okay. But upcycling is you have to make it into a different product. For example, this sofa I do not like it, I want to change the color, I am going to throw it away, somebody will be collecting and they will be adding some extra features, some cushions are changed, material is changed and it is very shiny now. If they can do something extra, the value of the sofa will increase. That is called upcycling. You are doing something extra and value is enhanced than the previous value, then it is called upcycling. Recycling, you know, recycling, you are giving plastic, it is pressed together and it is made into different pot, but not, sometimes it is just not made into anything. You are recycling it, but you do not know what is going to happen to that plastic. And remanufacturing, entirely you are making the design different. Remanufacturing example is Kodak, some of you might be knowing, whoever is in 40 plus they know. Kodak one was introducing remanufacturing. Previously when I was small child, just imagine you would not have seen that, one click camera. We used to have the camera, one click, throw it, but you cannot throw. They used to say you bring it to any shop, Kodak will buy it for 5 rupees. At that time 5 rupees was very big amount. So, people were, my parents were very happy to give it back to any shop and getting 5 rupees. That components of Kodak was taken out, they cannot remanufacture without taking out. Components have been disassembled and they have made it as a remanufacturing Kodak camera. They sold it for cheaper price. So, here the remanufacturing is quite common, even laptop we are remanufacturing and reassembling. So, upcycling and recycling are common terms what we are using. Upcycling will be having the product higher value than the before, recycling may not have the higher value, but it will be in the cycle, it will be used in different forms. We are also having Verbund concept, not using it, it is a German concept. Verbund concept is somewhat similar to circular economy. And transportation is playing a major role in sustainable food supply chain, and sustainable food supply chain definition is given in general in many of the places. Products and raw materials from supplier through producer, we have seen it. Yesterday we have seen this, raw material from supplier through producer to wholesaler, retailer to end user. It will have sustainability in all operations including transportation. Then only we can say it is a sustainable supply chain. If you say supply chain is conversion of raw material into the final product through various stages, if you say that is only supply chain. If you say sustainable, you have to have sustainability in every aspect of it. Sustainable development of all sectors to improve livelihood of society and nations. These are all the United Nations. Some of the definitions are from United Nations, others are generally agreed by United Nations for the sustainability concept. I encourage micro, small, medium enterprises short supply chains and eco-friendly products and services. Now, let me pause for a while. Do you have any question? Because we are going to move away from this. Do you have any question to ask? Yeah.
Many of us know the Kurkure product. Nowadays, Kurkure product is more popular than the original product Lay's. So it has an interesting story. So while manufacturing Lay's, it has a particular thickness and particular crispiness. So while manufacturing, to maintain this kind of thickness and crispiness, they have to generate more amount of waste also. So they have conducted a innovation and recycling and reusing methodology. So finally they found that waste product can be converted into a new product. From that brainstorming session only, a new product was developed that is called as Kurkure.
Okay.
So they after Kurkure was a big hit, now they have a separate product line of Kurkure. So Kurkure is not a new product, it was actually invention of to recycle and reuse of the waste generated during the manufacturing process of Lay's. So in this way, whenever we are thinking of recycling, remanufacturing, this kind of new products which can be bigger than the original product also happens.
Yes. See, it's a great story to follow. Normally when we make a roti, if it's not circle, kids will not eat it. The side part is taken separately, and we make it in a different shape. Similarly, Kurkure has made something very interesting. So that means nothing is going to be wasted. If you are using it wisely, we will not waste it. And especially if you look at female side in the family household, they will not try to waste any food. They will make one thing or the other based on what is left over. So the basic idea is in India, most of our household consumption is not wasting much of food. Food is wasted, that's a different story. We have done a big project with food waste. India is wasting food, but not in the household. Mainly it is because of the business extra food collection. When you are going out for eating, you will be buying so much and you are wasting. So wasting is happening not only in household, in other places. Actually, other places are making more waste than the household waste. So we can make use of the wasted item into usable item. It can be recycling, upcycling or remanufacturing. Remanufacturing, it's not only for the bigger products, even small value product can be remanufactured. Now let's come to the main picture. Life cycle analysis. Life cycle analysis is one of the biggest term we are using everywhere. If you are saying you are sustainable, what is LCA? Have you done the LCA calculation? I ask my student immediately. But some students, they retaliate with my question, they didn't like it. In the beginning, before 5 years, I asked this question, how can I get the data? Ma'am, you tell me, how do you expect me to get the data? That was very true. So somehow you have to get the data. So students will be panicky, how do I do LCA without the carbon emission of certain items? So LCA assessment is defined as systematic analysis of the potential environmental impact of products or services during their entire life cycle. That means I should know what is the life cycle. If I know life cycle of tomato, it's easy for me. I know where it's produced and how it's transported and how much it's consumed, how much is wasted. And every yes.
We can calculate this only for the perishable goods or short term period goods. What about the long term? Because
yeah, I have link. I am going to show it. You are very enthusiastic, I can understand, because this is my bread and butter, LCA calculation. Most of the time I do it, so I can tell you. Even for the long shelf life product, even for the windmill, we have to do LCA. For the cars, we have websites. Normally, I have included that link for the cars. LCA for the cars emission. If you are driving a car for 10 years, what will be the LCA for the car? Only for LCA, CO2 related LCA. If you do not have any LCA calculation, then you are lucky. You can calculate something new, you can make a new model. LCA is there in the system for many years, but what she asked is correct. For perishable item, it is easy to calculate, as I said. I said correctly, but there are certain gaps. Perishable item, I am talking about cars. In between, there are something like furniture. Normal question is furniture life, how do you know what is the life of the furniture? It is based on the user. If I do not like it, I will just throw it, I will buy the new one. But still the throwing, that is end of life. For you it is end of life, it can be remanufactured by someone or upcycled by someone. So, evaluate the environmental impact of production, distribution and end of life. We are going to include all supply chain activities in upstream and downstream. That is a big question. How do you know that? What will be the activity in upstream? If you are in the middle of the supply chain, how do you know what is the activity in the upstream, what is the activity in the downstream? That is another question. And include raw materials as well. If you are bringing raw material from other country, how do you know what is the life cycle for that particular product? So, what is the emission in the upstream? These are all big questions, we do not have straightforward answers. So, LCA calculation is only approximate. You have to agree the truth of this LCA. LCA is only approximation. No one can say clearly what is the LCA for one particular product. Approximately this product is better than the other product. We can say comparatively, not in a bigger sense. So, life cycle assessment, impact assessment covers all relevant input from the environment, how many acres of land use, ores, crude oil, water, land use, as well as emission into air, emission into water and soil. So, carbon dioxide is not only the only element, we are calculating nitrogen oxide, but you cannot calculate all of them, you are not scientists. The international organizations for standardization provides guidance, it is not my guidance, it is from others. Requirement for conducting LCA to ICO, all the requirements are given, there are in different websites. There is source for my information, you can go to source and you can look at it. LCA is given like this. In general, when you are talking about resources, resources are raw materials. Raw materials are being processed, and then after processing the raw material, product is manufactured. Then it's going to the distribution cycle, and then using is happening. Usage is a big question. It's very subjective to the person or the company or the nation or the people. Manufactured furniture, my parents used to have furniture for 10-15 years. Since my childhood until I finish my graduation, same furniture. But I change furniture every 3 to 4 years, I change it, I throw and buy new one. It is not only affordability, your inclination towards certain product. Here the question comes at the end of life, user and end of life, this is a big question mark. Other things can be calculated, little bit it is easy because we can get the supplier, what are the resources you are using and where you are finding it, whether it comes from other country, you can ask all the questions, but only missing answer is between use and end of life. So, after that question we are coming to this slide, what is the scope and what I am going to do, what is the scope of study for LCA. Actually I have a gentleman here, he works with Hitachi, Tata Hitachi. I want some insight from him, I want insight from all of you, because I know only what I have done. Like if you are getting 100% of mark, that means my professor used to say, you know the questions what come for the exam. If you have got 100 marks, the questions what have come in the exam, you know the answer, but there are millions of questions which have not come in the exam, so you got 100 easily. That means no professors used to encourage students by saying that you are the best. They will encourage you to study more and more rather than saying you are the best. The same way for LCA. LCA, there is no end for it. What is the scope? Goal and scope for this study may not be same for the next study. So, I know only what I have done. He might be knowing more than me, you might be knowing more than me. Please share your experience. Life cycle inventory we are taking, and then impact assessment we do it, and then interpretation. Interpretation is the key. How do you interpret? So, interpretation can be if you know statistics, I have been teaching statistics and mathematics. Statisticians can interpret any different data analysis into anything. So, so that means number will be there, you can interpret in any way. So, the same way we are doing LCA, but LCA scope should be clearly mentioned. Based on the scope, you are having the interpretation. 1 and 4 are directly connected. Now let's take some insight from the gentleman. Can you please introduce yourself to everyone?
Yeah, good morning. I'm working in Tata Hitachi. Basically,
आपका नाम?
yeah, myself Naresh Chandra Mahanta, and working at Tata Hitachi. There is a joint venture of Tata Motors and Hitachi, basically. And we are practicing whatever the madam is teaching with us. We same thing we are practicing in our organization. We are consuming the electricity in our organization. So what we have done, 80% electricity we are taking from the solar. Only because of this global impact and climate change is coming. So Tata and Hitachi have decided that 80% whenever possible that will go for the solar panel to eliminate the direct power supply. After that, what we are doing, what is the material incoming to the company, we are first deciding what will be the next disposal of this material. Like that, we are thinking how to generate the pollution free material from the incoming. That like that, suppose I am taking some wood packing materials, okay, then I am thinking that this wood can be where it will be used as a raw material. I am searching for that customer and I am selling that material to that customer, that can be used and I will generate some revenue with me. Same thing for the plastics, whatever the packaging we are getting, what we are doing, we are collecting all the plastic inside with our plant. After that, we are auctioning to the manufacturer plastic raw material who are making the raw material from the plastics reusable, that we are giving to them for as a raw material. And because we are generating tons of plastics inside our company, for which materials are coming from the packing sites. Like that, some cases we are getting that some bigger company are giving the material with their packing. Okay. So what we are doing, same is collected in our company. After that, we are giving back to them. So in regular phase, that can be utilized more and more. And the end of, after that, what are they are doing, after they are getting that material, they are rectifying that same and again they are sending back to us. Such we are in every aspect of for environmental, we are looking and we are thinking to how to reuse or remanufacture that, and it can be used in our systems, basically.
Thank you. Thanks for sharing his experience. Any good experience have you got from your life? You are all young people. I can't ask you what is the experience from your office.
Yes. Good morning, everybody. I am Ranjan Kumar Singh. I am from JSW Steel Limited. I have total 20 years of experience in operation and maintenance field. So, ma'am has explored the first case, how to recycle, reuse, and remanufacture. In steel industry, usually whatever the steel scrap generated during the process, so we try to how to reuse it in every step of steel manufacturing. Maybe it is raw metal verification, then blast furnace, then steel making process, then downstream products manufacturing. Everywhere there is some generation of wastage. So in every steps we try how to reuse it, other than just wasting others. We want to reuse the wastage generation from one step to another step. Like whatever the wastage generation as slags or dust particularly, that is used in different, whenever we will go for steel manufacturing, there are different processes. So each wastage generated at each stage is nowadays being converted to another byproduct due to different technological advancement. So in this process we try to utilize 100% whatever the wastage are generated during manufacturing process. Similarly, whatever the wastage which cannot be used inside the steel industry also, we try to use how to can be used in externally. Like whatever the dust slags are generated, they are used for road construction, making fire bricks and other kind of useful impacts in construction of roads, buildings and all the other materials also. Second thing, ma'am has told that what are the impact of assessment of life cycle. Whenever we are going from a capex level of procurement, we also calculate what is life cycle assessment and what will be its impact of on environment. Whenever we are judging 2 or 3 vendors, we generally give a mark. What are the LCA of this product and what is the LCA of this product. If one product is better in terms of life cycle assessment, we give a importance in terms of long term its usability. Suppose one motor we are procuring and it is consuming 100 kilowatt during its operation, but another energy efficient motor is used in another project, it is consuming 90 kilowatt motor. There is a saving of 10 kilowatt of energy per hour. So we calculate for in 10 hours how much energy we are consuming if you are going from the another product. In this case also we compare what will the total cost to the company. In this manner we also prioritize which product we have to go for, otherwise which capex project we have to go for. So this way we will utilize LC analysis in industrial sector.
Thank you very much. Okay. So everybody, yes.
Ma'am, I have not a experience like sir, but I saw one initiative from a Zomato. They are just there is a lots of wastage on a food, like someone ordering something from, and they are just cancelling during the delivery part. The Zomato came out with that the food with a delivery partner, that food will be listed on a Zomato app with a lower price. Anyone can order that food at a very cheaper point, that the food cannot be wasted, that can be delivered to any third person at a very cheaper rate. That's why the food they are just saving the food wastage, like Zomato has taken that initiative.
Yeah, that's a wastage. Now we are come to the wastage, how we are linking waste with the emission and LCA. That's a very tricky thing. When you are avoiding the waste, you are avoiding the CO2 emission as well. So CO2 emission comes from different ways. Logistically, you are avoiding CO2 if you are avoiding the waste, and if you are putting your food waste in the anaerobic digester, it is also producing energy. So it is avoiding waste and it's reducing CO2. Yes.
Good morning, ma'am. I would like to give a different perspective. I am from Coal India Limited. So we are into mining of coal. So what Ranjanji said, that their byproducts or their waste products, so one of their waste products like fly ash, which is being generated and which is very dangerous for the environment. So one they are doing is that they are making the bricks out of that, but the way in which we are using it for stowing purposes. Stowing in the sense, when we cave out the mines, the underground mines, the void which is created by taking out the coal out of that. So we are putting that fly ash into that particular void, so that affects and means that does not affect environmentally, because that entire waste product is being put down in the ground. And another thing, ma'am, when we dig out the coal, we have to take out the overburden, that is the all the stones, the slags, the mud and everything we have to take out, and it's a huge quantity. So if you see that in this part of the region some small mountains are formed, they are not mountains, they are basically overburden which have been removed for digging out the coal. So what as an initiative we have started, we are trying to make sand out of that particular overburden, because sand stowing, requirement of sand, so those particular things are also taken care of by this sustainable mining practices which we are doing. So that's a different aspect altogether which I wanted to share.
Thank you. See, there are different viewpoints for the same concept, right? That's the same thing what you said. The first point is called verbound. Verbound is verbund or verbound. Pronunciation may be different. It's a German language. The same. Waste of one process will be ingredient for the other process. Verbound is exactly the same. Waste from one process will go as ingredient for the other process. For example, jasmine, it's following this one. Jasmine flower, you might be knowing it's very costly and it's a very precious in terms of smell, fragrance. You can make fragrance out of it. Once it's not valuable to be hold as a flower, they crush it and they make fragrance and jasmine oil as well. So, actually it is a waste, and it is going as a fragrance is ingredient for making another new product. So, this is called verpend. Thanks. Another one what you said is mountain, there is no mountain. What is it?
You will see that small sort of mountains have been prepared that are not natural mountains, those are artificial mountains of the overburden which we
okay.
remove to
Okay.
dig out the coal, because coal is found at a depth of 250 meters or 300 meters. So we have to first dig out the overburden, that is the mitti and all, and that mitti and overburden we are converting it into sand, so that ma'am it solves
So,
three
the
problems.
reformation of
Reformation.
something, yes. Actually, when he was talking about reformation, something has come to my mind, deforesting. You might be knowing many European countries now they are doing deforesting. Previously, we used to say forest is good, but sometimes when forest is emitting CO2 as well, right. Sometimes we have to be very careful. Your grandparents might have told you at the time of night, don't stand near the tree. Because it is emitting. So, deforesting has been made for certain areas purposely, and if you know even in our country if soil is not enriched with protein, probably we will be doing the crop rotation. So, your parents or grandparents ask them, these are all naturally done. Nobody has taught us how to be green, how to be environmentally friendly. We used to do it, but unfortunately for the past 30-40 years we forgot our natural method of being green. So, that is the reason I am teaching you, and nothing is new in this country. We know it, but we are forgetting to practice it. So, you can be future generation can be a good environmental specialist. So, normally food is wasted in all around the globe, 1/3 of food is wasted, whether it is a rich country or poor country does not matter, we waste it. And producing and distribution and storing, cooking, all of them are using some level of energy. Energy can be fuel or water, all are energy, but we are wasting all of valuable resources. Each of these are emitting greenhouse gas and contributing to climate change. We cannot blame anyone, everybody is emitting, and poor countries are emitting because of certain things. We are wasting from rich restaurant, but poor people are not having enough food. But we both of us are having certain difficulty. Emitting is happening in western countries because of overselling of the product. Sometimes if a discount is given, people will like to buy something which is not required for them. So, they will be put it in the they will be putting in the fridge will be emitting chlorofluoroacid. Some scientists are here, yes. Okay, so you know better than me, it is emitting, it is contributing to greenhouse gas. In that case, everybody is doing some our part of emission in one way or the other, and we are sending the food for the landfill. If food is given to landfill, there is no point in getting any energy. Sometimes your soil will be enriched, but most of the time it is only going for landfill, no other energy created. But if you give it for anaerobic digester, all the food in IIT Madras I have seen anaerobic digester, small digester, they are collecting food every day in the canteen, and it's going to the anaerobic digester and energy is created. And another institution, not institution, Arvin dairy farm, where I have gone for another project, they have shown how they are collecting the waste from the dairy and anaerobic digester is creating energy. That energy is used for the whole factory. So, self-sufficient in creating energy. So, every household, if we are all young scientists, if you are having some connection with the scientists, we can ask them to make a small prototype of anaerobic digester for your house. In many of the European countries, not in UK, European countries they are having anaerobic digester for one small street or one house, small level of a digester, it is available, even in the market it is available. So, in that way everybody is trying to save food waste in they are converting food, even if it is wasted, it is converted into energy. And food is these are the examples, it is given. If food loss or waste were its own country, it would be the third largest green gas emitter. Food loss, actually we can't avoid it, this is one of the This is my elaboration from other projects. China is based on the 2011 data. These are the highest emitters for the food waste. China, United States, then food waste is in the middle. This is average. We are comparing with every other country. India is less. India was less, not now. It's about 2012, 12 years back. Russia was in the other place. So, minimum, if average is 4.4, ours was 2.9. Still we can reduce. It was before 10 years. Now I heard that the number has gone up, not down. So, we are wasting more and more compared to this. This is again it is a circular tray site. This is given in many other websites. We have seen in European Union website. If you look at it, this is the picture what we are having for prevention. Prevention is the top one. When you go down, finally disposal. Try to prevent. If you can't prevent, redistribute it. If you can't avoid the waste, redistribute. As I said, if you are having some sensor, probably you can redistribute the food before it becomes waste. And if it is not possible to redistribute, make it for animal feed, somehow use it, and then if it is not possible to give it for animal, recycle it. That is the next stage. Okay. Still if you can't recycle, recovery is possible. Recovery is incineration, like anaerobic digester, make something incinerate and then create energy. I know only anaerobic digester, maybe some other method. You have something else? Anything alternative for anaerobic digester? So, just put the food and it will be making some mix several times, energy will be emitted, you can use it as electricity. Yes, collecting food.
Collecting and converting to the farmer sides some input for the farming.
Okay. It's
Every
making
day he is collecting food disposal, and he is doing that is certified by us also, and how much every day he is taking from us, that is also calculated there. And same thing, he is giving the discount to the farmer also,
okay.
as per in our behalf.
So, beneficiaries, it is a win-win situation, all are beneficiaries, he is asking.
In our township, there are 3 to 4 canteens are there. Almost 1500 to 2000 people are there who are taking food. So there is a huge quantity of wastage at the end of the day. So these are there is a biomass, biogas producing setup is there. So whatever the wastage generation is collected at the night 12 o'clock and deposited at their biogas plant, and the gas is utilized for cooking purpose. And whatever the residual the composting is generated, and it is utilized for horticulture activities inside the campus. So in both way we are utilizing as a energy and also preparation of food waste. And for awareness, there is also statistical data in urinals and wash basins areas, how much waste is utilized generated on today's or yesterday, and what are the total cumulative wastage generated in 1 month, and what its impact in terms of the CO2 generation, and with respect to GDP loss of this kind of awareness is given inside.
Yeah, that's true. Even cow dung is used for producing bioenergy, right? Yeah.
We at our company, we have started one initiatives that under CSR we have done that. 2 initiatives we have taken, one at Dakshineshwar Kali Mandir in Kolkata, and another is at Varanasi, that is the Kashi Vishwanath temple. On a daily basis, lot of devotees put the flowers they offer to God, and so we have tied up with an NGO, and we have made a plant out of that, that the waste flowers of the flowers which are left over, they are put it up in a machine which is then converted into a compost and a fertilizer sort of thing, and that is being sold by that particular NGO to generate livelihood, so that their business remains sustainable. We have provided them a plant, we have provided them a separate room out of that, and now it's a totally sustainable business, and they are making compost out of that, the flowers which has being offered, and that is being sold at the market rates all over the place.
Okay. So this is very interesting. I heard of this story. I have been to Varanasi. I have seen that flower collection from the river. And there was another interesting story. If leftover bread is at home, it is being collected, they are making wine out of it, because bread has got the fermentation, already it has got some yeast in it. The yeast is converted into alcohol and they are selling it. It is happening in Dutch soil, not here. So, there are many ways of doing it. Tomato, you might be knowing about tomato waste. Tomato waste is normally converted into fertilizer. This is quite common, even in India it is quite common. But certain waste like jasmine waste, as I said, it cannot be consumed by animal, for your information. It is slightly poisonous. Yes.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Jyotsna. I'm working as a quality officer in Food Corporation of India, and I'm dealing with channelization of wheat and rice to 5 districts. Sometimes it happens that we are not able to channelize the food within the specific time. Like if we're preserving wheat, and if it goes more than 5 to 6 months, then there are attack of some stored grain paste in that, like rhizo and all that weevils, and they make a powder, the wheat converted into powder. In that case, that comes under the non-consumable food grains. So government of India has also initiated this that there is procurement of this type of food grains, and processing them to form ethanol. So that along with the petroleum fuel, ethanol can be used to to decrease the emission of carbon dioxide or monoxide to environment. So that is the use of that waste wheat grains.
This is a government initiative.
Yeah, this
Okay,
one
that's
is
good,
government
that's good,
initiative.
yeah.
And also sugarcane molasses, that is also being collected to produce ethanol. Out of that also, it is under the government of India initiative to collect that also.
Thank you. Yeah, I heard about that sugar cane waste can be used as a hydroponic base, right?
Yeah.
So, and it's exported to UK. So
Will not only reduce the
Emission.
pollution, it will also reduce the consumption of petrochemicals, like the petrols or diesels, that can be also reduced.
Yeah,
The
thank
quantity
you.
we are
Thank you very much. Yeah. So it's a great insight. We have so many options, but still it's not enough. That is a question, main question. We are using the options, still we are not succeeding in achieving that target. So what is your final goal? That is a biggest question. If you look at the supply chain and life cycle assessment for every supply chain, evaluation of the input, output and the potential environmental impact. Input, what are the resources you are using, output is the material what you are producing at the end, and environmental impact of each of the logistical services included in bringing the input and output, taking the output. So, throughout the life cycle you have to calculate, it is not so easy, you have to have all the information. Identify the trade-offs among alternatives. For example, if you are bringing the item from say Kashmir to here, it is too long, why can't I take it from something from Calcutta, is it available? So, what is the alternative arrangement for identifying the similar product, and identify the opportunities to improve the system and support environmental decision making. So, environmentally what is good for you? If you are bringing, there are two ways of looking at it, bringing from Kashmir, bringing from Calcutta, one is cheaper, another one is costly, and so that means cost involved, and one is emitting a lot because I am coming from long distance, other one is shorter distance. Always it does not mean shorter distance will have less emission, there are other implications. If you are coming by a different way of transport, say electrical vehicle, emission will be less even if you are coming by Kashmir. Coming from Kashmir through a different way of transport is making less emission than coming from Calcutta by truck. So, you have to find out what is the best for you and support the environmental decisions, achieve the sustainable development. These are all generic things. What we are doing here is we are trying to relate with the project. There are certain projects now, if you look at the diagram, manufacturing, then it is coming by a truck, then fuel is being used, again it is going by ship, again it is going for different waste process, actually it is a waste generated in operations, then after wasting it is going through flight, again it is taken to different places, again it is going to different households. This is exactly happening in every country, it is not only for one country. This is upstream activity, reporting company, downstream activity. This is unavoidable everywhere. We have CO2, not only CO2, CH2, but nitrogen oxide and many other. I am not a scientist, so you can read all the chemicals, all the emissions. Yes, now let me come to my project. This is a Reamit project. I told you to look at it, reamit.eu. I was one of the 17 members in the group, so I am not alone in that project. The project ended last year July. www.reamit.eu. There are 17 videos uploaded. The total project value was 5.5 million pounds. 1 pound is 100, approximately 100 rupees. So, that means we have to involve so many countries, we involve 5 different countries, European countries. Everywhere the same problem, food waste, food waste, food waste. So, government of it's European, not one government, European Union felt that something would really help. What could really help? The application was submitted with using sensors and big data. Data analytical solutions will be the best to reduce the waste. Initially it was like, how the data analysis will reduce waste, that was the question. But as I told you, sensor was the main element which was collecting the data about the quality, about the route, about so many things. Based on that data analysis, driver was instructed to avoid. One information has changed the whole life of that food product. Food product, instead of going to landfill, it has gone to charity, it has gone to different store. That means one small information, one small sensor size is only this much, 1 inch sensor, but it is giving so much of information. Aim is support to support the food supply chain companies to explore the problem of food waste and the solution to achieve more sustainable food system. You might have noticed in the retail stores, ice cream is kept in one aisle. It is a very low temperature, minus 15, minus 18, minus 20 degrees, but somebody will pick the ice cream. Somebody will pick the ice cream, that ice cream box will be lying in the counter or near basket. After coming to the till, you realize, no, this ice cream is not good for my family, they do not like it. I do not want vanilla, I want chocolate. After 10 minutes you will see, that is your idea. You will go back and put it there, or just you will leave it in the till. Somebody will, okay, you do not need to worry, your mother may say, somebody else will say, you do not need to worry, labor will come and take it, pick it. That means that ice cream, instead of minus 18 degrees, it will be kept in what is outside temperature, maybe 30 degrees for 10 minutes or 30 minutes sometimes. Even if you keep for 1 minute, the temperature will go differently. So, it will become, instead of minus 18, it will become minus 5 degrees. That means you are spoiling the quality. Somebody will come definitely and put it back in the shelf, but the quality is changed. How do you know the quality is changed? Because the sensor will tell you the quality is not the same. When you buy a big box of ice cream might have been defrosted and then refrosted. So, level of the ice cream, it will tell you it is not in the same level. That means you are assessing the different stages in that particular scenario. So, in the food supply chain, where the food is getting wasted, where the quality is going down. If you are getting ice cream from Amul ice cream, if it is sold in say Kanyakumari, that is a south tip, how much travel is taken and how can you maintain the temperature? Can you maintain the temperature in the truck? I do not know what supply chain stage is having difficulty in maintaining the same quality. Assess the now we have used this. This is Reamit IoT technology used for the project. So, as a project partner, we can say Reamit officially. they have used only available IoT sensors, but I am not an expert in sensor. I was in the project for different purposes. Sensors were fitted by our experts. How it has helped to maintain the LCA main phases of, I am covering only LCA calculation for this for today's lesson. Inventory analysis, we have taken the inventory of all the extracts. How do we do it? We ask the suppliers, in your production, how many hours you are keeping the refrigerator in minus 18 degrees? How many hours you are using your refrigerator? So, minus 18 degrees, how many hours used? Whether your refrigerator was full or half empty, all are creating some impact. So, for example, if your refrigerator is defrosting time, your quality of food is not the same, it is not maintained in the same temperature. So, how many times do you defrost your refrigerator? All are giving some answer. If it is happening frequently, we will say emission is higher, quality is lower. So, this conversion, there is a table, we have used the table, I am showing the table. Based on the table, we have put tick mark for everything. Yes, it is correct, it is maintained. 2 times defrosting is okay. If you are doing 4 times defrosting, you are less than the one quality, one scale less. So, we have made the interpretation. So, this interpretation is based on your projects, what you are doing. If you are going to retail store, if you are doing a MBA project, your project is only to maintain the temperature only in one vending machine or only one refrigerator. So, based on your project, you have to make the interpretation. Actually, it is very subjective. Everyone will agree that it is very subjective. The temperature maintenance in big factories are minus 22, minus 25 degrees for ice cream. When it comes to retail store, they will say it is minus 18 to minus 20 degrees. But when it comes to your fridge, your normal fridge, even though they claim it is minus 18, no household fridge will be minus 18. So, the quality is different. So, we are trying to help the and improve the green performance, but we are considering the companies based on the companies changing mission. Every time they will be changing mission on eco-friendly based on the governmental regulation. If government is saying that your refrigerator should maintain minus 20 degrees every single day, then only I will give you permission, they will change it. So, based on the expectation from the government. So, this is a tool we used, and we have got some special research assistants. They have made the analysis, and every analysis was calculated based on the company's regulation in line with the governmental regulation. These are all examples from the company. You can see inventory database is considered for each of the every resource, and then LCIA is calculated using food weight into factor, how much is factored in. Some chicken may be of 20% factor in, and maybe other ingredients will be factored for 30%, totally 100%. So, this factor is based on again the company, the food weight and then factor all are considered, the calculation is made. Now, this calculation is available in the paper. If you are interested, go to sustainability, it is there in the next one. So, final result 46.8 ton of CO2 for that company, 46.8 ton of CO2 emission. So, this is the calculation for mango, orange, strawberry, beef, chicken, sheep, tuna, fish, milk, everything is given as an example what they have done. Full text is available. Go to sustainability, it is a free full text. Sustainability is a journal, it is given for every separately orange how much is emission. Now, the question comes to you, is it you ask perishability, how do you calculate? This is very easy to calculate perishability, and the scales are given in standardized form. Sustainability emission scale for oranges, you can Google and you will see the table.
Ma'am, because there are many people nowadays, this generation has a tendency, if the trend changed, they will immediately go for a trend change, even if the product is very nice, what they are carrying, it has a long life. Ma'am, what to do about that? Can we calculate that thing from here?
Trend change we can't calculate. What we can calculate is only CO2. Trend change is separate, it's a
From
marketing.
regarding the perspective of goods, also I'm talking like they discard it, so they anyhow become a waste.
See, discarded material, if it is not perishable, still it will be wood, cardboard, metal. We have a table for what is the emission for each of this, right sir? Is it right? You are using some metal, steel, right? Are you having CO2 emission for each of the metal thickness? Based on the thickness, what is CO2 emission if you are wasting?
Yeah, basically we are using like the which grade is it and how we are using that. Suppose that material is using in the oily area, then we will treat according to that. If we have painted that material, then we will use like that. So every material we have calculated from the beginning that how we will be treated as that.
Thank you. So, based on the age of the material, so what you are saying is about a product. Product is not considered as a product, we have to disassemble everything. So, when you are dismantling, we will be having age, usage and then CO2 of that particular product if it is disposed completely, landfilled. Whether you are remanufacturing, you have to decide what is the CO2. Most of the items are not landfilled. Nowadays, we are having component based recycling. So, we will talk about it during our tea time. Now, let me stop for a while, we will go for tea. Thank you.
Does anyone have any question?
So, go to this paper if you are interested. There are 12 papers from the project. Same project, we have made 12 papers, one for food, one for only the transportation. So, not all of them with my name, I think I am in 5-6 papers. Because it is a very big team. You can see all the papers based on life cycle assessment, based on recycling, upcycling. We have got one paper, if you are interested, go for the Human Milk Foundation paper. It is very interesting to read in the sustainability in this particular edition. Human Milk Foundation, breast milk is transported from hospital or house to the other babies. How it is saving millions of people, millions of small babies. Okay, so okay, you can read all. It is a very interesting read from the project. I will say bye now.